Once upon a time, in ancient Greece, there lived a great master named Daedalus. He was one of the most talented architects and inventors of his age. When Daedalus was exiled by his king due to the provocations of jealous people, he traveled to the island of Crete. When King Minos of Crete learned of his arrival, he immediately invited Daedalus to his palace. Minos was troubled by a monster who was his own child. He asked Daedalus to build a labyrinth with tangled corridors and paths without exits, in order to imprison his son, the Minotaur, a creature half man and half bull. Daedalus fulfilled this command. But Minos feared that the secret of the labyrinth might spread, so he imprisoned Daedalus and his son Icarus in a tower on the island. To escape from the island, Daedalus thought for many nights. Man can be imprisoned on land and at sea, he said to himself, but the sky is free. For days he watched the birds, how light their feathers were, how the wind carried them. Then he set to work. He gathered the feathers of seabirds and bound them together with wax and string. In the end, he made 2 pairs of wings, one for himself and one for his beloved son, Icarus. Before sunrise, they climbed to the top of the tower and strapped the wings to their backs. Daedalus held Icarus by the arms and warned him, "My son, listen to me. These wings will set us free, but we must be careful. Do not fly too low. The sea will wet the feathers, make them heavy, and you will fall. And do not fly too high. The sun will melt the wax, and the wings will fall apart. Fly neither too low nor too high." When they leapt from the cliff, the wind lifted them, and they began to glide through the sky. Daedalus flew ahead, Icarus behind him. The islands below grew smaller. The sea stretched out like a blue carpet. Birds passing by were astonished, and fishermen looked up from their boats and cried, "The gods are flying!" Icarus's heart swelled with joy. He had never felt anything like this before. The wind caressed his hair, and the sun warmed his face. "Father, look how high we've climbed," he shouted. Daedalus turned back and cried, "Come down, my son, come down!" But Icarus did not listen. He wanted to fly higher, to touch the clouds. He flew closer to the sun. The heat softened the wax, and the feathers began to fall away one by one. At first, Icarus did not notice. Then he felt an emptiness in his arms. The wings were coming apart. Daedalus turned and tried to catch his son, but it was too late. And Icarus plunged into the waters of the Aegean Sea and disappeared. With tears in his eyes, Daedalus looked at the place where his son had fallen and continued his journey in despair. He reached Sicily, but for the rest of his life, he whispered his son's name to the wind. And ever since, people have known this truth. There may be those who wish to reach the sky, but those who compete with the sun are burned. Freedom is beautiful, but freedom without knowing its limits is a fall.